I left my washer door closed for 60 days, what grew inside will shock you. You've heard the rule 100 times. Leave the washer door open. Let it breathe, people say. Prevent mold, people say. But what if I tried the opposite on purpose? What if I closed that door and left it that way for 2 months straight? Would it become a science experiment, a biohazard, or a time capsule full of secrets? Before you panic, yes, I'm doing this safely. No real mold growth, no dangerous spores, no unsafe chemicals. This is a controlled, simulated 60-day scenario built with harmless props and realistic visual effects so we can see what would happen without risking anyone's health. I am doing this so you don't have to. And because the internet deserves an answer. If you're watching this, you already know what's coming. Gross reveals, surprising science, and maybe a lesson about the tiny things we ignore every day. But I promise you one thing right up front. This won't be boring. From the first second to the last, I want you thinking, what's behind the seal? What's going to fall out? How bad is it? And then, what will I do when I see it? We'll answer all of that. Here's how the experiment works. Rule number 1. Total lockdown. The washer door stays closed. No opening for inspection. No peeking. Nothing in or out that might disturb the environment. Rule number 2. Realistic conditions. I recreate what a real 60-day sealed washer might accumulate. Old detergent residue, damp fabric grime, tiny food particles, body oil, and real-world humidity. But again, everything used to simulate this is safe, non-toxic, and designed to look real on camera without causing harm. Rule number 3. Daily films and measurements. Every single day I record humidity, temperature, and odor level, so you can watch the micro changes happen over time. You'll see the buildup in slow motion, time-lapse, and close-up, all in crisp detail. Now, why 60 days? Because it's long enough for serious changes but short enough to keep the tension. 30 days gives you a smell. 60 days gives you a story. And stories are what get watched. We're not doing this because it's edgy. We're redoing it because most of us ignore the spaces that silently collect grime. And that S, where real surprises hide. The night I closed the door for the first time, the washer looked completely normal. It was a perfectly average machine, not brand new but not ancient either. There was a little residue in the dispenser. The gasket had a faint line where the last load had sat. The drum looked like it had a story. I said out loud, "See you in 60." The door clicked shut, and the lock engaged. That click is the sound this whole experiment is built on. Day 1 felt ridiculous. I walked past the laundry room 3 times just to see it through the glass. Of course, nothing had changed, but I recorded everything. The first humidity reading, the first temperature chart, the first sniff test from 3 feet away. If you're thinking, why film day 1? Because it builds trust. If we fast forward and only show the gross reveal, you won't believe it. The proof is in the daily record. By day 3, there was already something different in the air. Not mold. Not yet. Just a dampness, like a towel left in a bag. The chart ticked up a tiny bit on humidity. Tiny changes make big stories. That's the physics of tension. I narrate it every morning like it's a thriller. Day 3. The beast stirs. Small moments, repeated, turn into drama. Day 7 was the first visual hint. Through the glass, the gasket looked slightly darker where moisture pooled. I ran a microscopic humidity check. The meter spiked for 20 seconds after the cycle ended. Again, nothing hazardous, just the beginning signatures of what moisture does when it can't escape. On the screen, I overlay the daily humidity graph. You'll notice the climb, gradual and relentless. This is how tension accumulates. Days 10-14 feel like the middle of Act 1. People watching at home start commenting, "Do it! Do it! Open it now!" But the rule is rule. No peeking. That's what keeps viewers glued. The delayed reveal. Every day I read your comments, your guesses, and your horror fantasies. That interactivity fuels the suspense because your mind starts filling in the worst possible outcomes. By day 16, something interesting happens. Color begins to appear where the detergent drawer meets the hearth. Not a full bloom of mold, but a faint staining. It's the kind of detail that makes viewers lean forward in their seats. You can almost see someone in the comments typing, "I saw that on my machine once," and that connection is gold for retention. Day 21 brings the smell test I know you're waiting for. I call in a blindfolded volunteer, a friend who hasn't seen the setup. We hold the door 3 feet away and they sniff. Their reaction? Surprise, disgust. A moment of humor that breaks the tension and then tightens it again. "What is that?" they ask. "Wet towel," I say. And that answer is enough to make people think, if it smells like that from 3 feet away, what does it smell like when you open it? Days 25-30, we amplify the micro-clues. Time-lapse footage shows slow condensation forming on the glass. Close-ups show small flecks like coffee grounds clinging to the gasket. I add a tiny twist. I put in a sealed envelope with a humidity sensor and a postcard. If anything leaks, we'll know it. Little narrative devices like this keep viewers asking, what will the sensor read on day 60? They keep watching. At day 35, we introduce a dramatic test. I put a swab collection plate into the machine before sealing it on day 35. Think of it like a petri dish, but safe, sterile, and prepared only to show visual texture later. It's a promise to the audience. When we open the door, we'll have something concrete to show under magnification. You can almost see the comments scrolling. "We want the microscope shot." And I promise it. By day 42, the game changes. Humidity graphs slope up. Temperature cycles have smaller diurnal drops because the machine retains heat. You ask for steaks. I deliver them. I tell the audience we're going to run a stress rinse on day 50, a hot water cycle without detergent to see how trapped residue mobilizes. It's another cliffhanger, the looming action that the audience can't wait to see. Day 48 is when tension peaks in my head. I can't sleep because I'm thinking about what we'll find. But you don't want a host who panics. You want a host who teases. So every morning I deliver my voiceover in a low, excited tone. 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks until the hatch opens. It's theater. It's channel building. It's honest. Day 50. The stress rinse. Everything is set. Hidden cameras, macro lenses, the humidity sensor that's been ticking away since day 1, and the sealed swab plate. I start the cycle from the control panel outside the room, because the rule is the rule. The door must remain closed until day 60. The washer hums. Water pours in, hotter than usual. Inside, whatever has stuck to the walls will loosen and move. Will the rinse flush it to the pump? Will it resuspend into the drum? Will it settle into the filter where we can later examine it? These questions make the audience sit forward. They make your finger hover over the play button for the reveal. After the rinse, I let the machine sit for 10 minutes, and then start a slow drain to see how the water behaves. I peek at the drain hose through the access panel, safely of course, and record the turbidity, how cloudy the water is. The meter spikes. That's a measurable sign that residue mobilized. Not dangerous, just dramatic. We've added a credential. This isn't just visual horror. It's science data. Your average viewer loves data when it backs up spectacle. Days 51-59 become a countdown show. I run short updates every night, little clips of condensation, a light that stays on, a creak in the mechanism that we hadn't noticed before. Fans make guesses. Some think we'll find only mild staining. Some predict a horror show of black slime. The comment section becomes a live script. The anticipation becomes communal. And then, day 60. For 59 days, the door never opened for inspection. For 59 days, moisture, residue, and time did their quiet work. Now the moment everyone has been waiting for arrives. I don't rush it. That would be a crime. I stand in front of the washer, the microphone ready, the audience watching. The suspense is almost physical. I can hear comments popping up live. Open it now. No. Please be safe. I press the latch release and slide my hand to the handle. Before I pull the door, I say something simple, because viewers love this tiny ritual. On 3, 1, 2, 3. The click, that familiar click, echoes. The door swings open like a curtain. Steam exhales, heavier than I expected. A thin cloud drifts out, carrying a smell that's not quite mold, not quite perfume. Something older, damp and organic. It hits the room like a wave. The drum's surface shimmers in the light. There's a film on the rubber gasket, textured, layered, like rings in an old tree. Small flecks cling to it, like dust after a storm. The detergent drawer has staining that looks almost artistic, streaks and splatters like a painter's canvas. The swab plate, now visible through its clear window, shows speckled patterns that will look enormous under a microscope. I take a swab and put it under the portable microscope right there, live. You see the magnified image fill the screen. Tiny colonies of harmless, simulated particles arranged in patterns that look uncanny. It's dramatic, it's beautiful, it's gross. And what the camera captures is exactly what people pay to watch, the moment fantasy collapses into reality. But here's the key. I never sensationalize danger. I show the texture, the color shifts, the slow drip down the back of the drum. But I also show the numbers. Humidity peaked at X. Turbidity spiked after the rinse. No dangerous spores were present because we simulated growth using safe, visible materials. That balance matters. It builds trust and keeps the audience from panicking. Then comes the cleanup reveal. And I know you want it to be satisfying. I bring in the arsenal. Safe enzyme cleaners, warm water, and a soft brush. We remove the film in slow motion, the way big restoration channels reveal before-after shots. Layers peel away like old wallpaper. Each swipe reveals brighter metal. With every pass, viewers exhale a little. Shock transforming into relief. But final satisfaction isn't just about the drum. It's about what the experiment taught us. I hold up the swab plate again, now clean, and I explain in plain language what we learned. That enclosed spaces trap moisture. That residual detergent and organic material become a substrate for microbial life if left undisturbed. That ventilation and small maintenance steps prevent buildup. That you don't need to panic. You just need awareness and small, consistent actions. And here's the kicker. I end page 1 with a real cliffhanger to keep viewers watching the whole video. While scrubbing the gasket, my hand finds a tiny, almost invisible crack near the seal. It's small, almost nothing. But it suggests long-term damage if this had really been 60 days of unchecked growth. I freeze and say, we'll inspect this under the microscope and test the seal strength, and the results may surprise you. That moment, a tiny structural mystery, is enough to make viewers ask, what will the microscope show? Will the seal hold? Is the washer ruined? And that's how you keep them watching into page 2 and beyond. So if you made it this far in the script, you're already part of the question. What happens to things we ignore? Tomorrow, we go deeper. Microscope analysis, a teardown of the filter housing, and the science of how to really prevent this without drama. But for now, breathe. You saw the big reveal. You saw the film. You saw the method. And you know, if you ever forget to leave your washer door open, it might not be pretty, but it's definitely fixable. Microscope deep dive, plus. Seal test, plus. Emotional turn. The door is still open, steam fading into thin air. I grab the portable microscope, click the light to max, and aim it at the tiny crack we spotted yesterday. The lens zooms in, and what you see next is the moment every viewer leans closer to the screen. At first it looks normal, just dull rubber under white light. Then, slowly, the surface reveals lines like a map, ridges, valleys, and specks that glitter under the LED. I breathe out, whisper, that is history. because every speck is a story of detergent, heat, and time. The image feels alive, almost like terrain viewed from space. Comments start flying on screen. Zoom more! It's like the surface of Mars. That's why my washer smells weird. I zoom deeper. The edges of the crack shimmer with residue, harmless fake buildup, but it looks dramatic. The light hits it and makes a faint rainbow. The visual is hypnotic. You can't look away. Now, I switch to the inner side of the seal, where the camera light catches moisture. I place a single droplet on a safe glass slide and put it under the scope. The screen shows swirling particles suspended, moving like tiny galaxies. It's mesmerizing. I narrate softly. This is what happens when still water meets still air for too long. It doesn't explode, it evolves. That line lands. It's quotable, replayable. Viewers start clipping it before the video's even done. The seal strength test. Next, I move to test the gasket seal itself. I use a safe pressure gauge, no chemicals, no strain, just numbers. The goal? To see if long-term moisture can weaken elasticity. I attach the gauge, pump in air slowly, and watch the needle. For a moment, it holds perfectly. Then, pop. A faint hiss escapes where the crack sits. I freeze, smile, and say, there it is. The weak spot. 60 simulated days, one tiny scar. It's not dangerous. It's storytelling gold, a real, measurable result. I replay the moment in slow motion. You can see the gasket flex, release a wisp of vapor, then settle back. The caption flashes, everything breaks quietly before it breaks loudly. That's the line people quote in comments. Now we shift tone. The energy dips for 5 seconds, just long enough to let the gravity hit. I sit back on the floor, wipe the gasket with a cloth, and talk straight to camera. Here's the truth. We think machines don't care how we treat them, but they do. They remember moisture. They remember heat. They remember when we walk away without a wipe. It's intimate, honest, relatable. 1,000 US viewers nod at home because they've done exactly that. The filter reveal. Next, I pull the drain filter. It's the moment everyone's been waiting for. The what's inside shot. I twist the cap slowly. A small trickle of cloudy water escapes. It's safe-colored water for the video, but it looks like history itself draining out. Then a clump slides forward. Gray, fibrous, harmless props designed to mimic lint buildup. The camera zooms tight. Sound design adds a faint squelch for drama. Chat explodes again. No way! That's exactly my filter. I'm cleaning mine right now. That's engagement in real time, the goal of every retention curve. I lay out the debris on a tray under bright light. It's a mosaic of safe particles, soap flakes, lint, mock mineral dust. It looks like the aftermath of 100 laundry cycles trapped in time. And then I do what no one expects. I arrange it into the shape of the word time. People screenshot it instantly. 1,000 comments appear. Symbolism. He turned dirt into art. That's the viral moment you can't plan, you only invite it. The smell reset challenge. Now we go from discovery to redemption. I tell the audience we'll try to restore the washer's original freshness using only eco-safe methods. One shot, one chance, no hidden tricks. I prep the mix. Hot water, baking soda, white vinegar. Nothing dangerous, just the classics. I pour it into the drum, start a short cycle, and tell viewers, if this doesn't work, we're replacing the whole seal. But I believe it will. The machine spins. Foam forms. Harmless, cinematic. Slow-motion footage captures bubbles rising and bursting under LED light. It's strangely satisfying, almost meditative after all that tension. Then the cycle ends. I open the door. A wisp of clean vapor escapes. No smell of dampness, only neutral warmth. I inhale and grin. That's the smell of second chances. It's another quotable moment. People love redemption arcs. even for machines. The emotional turn. Now I shift into storytelling gear. The lights dim, the camera pulls back. I say quietly, "This started as an experiment about a washer, but it turned into something else. 60 days of silence taught me how easily we ignore maintenance, habits, small acts of care." I show a split screen. Left side, the closed-door washer from day one. Right side, the gleaming, restored washer today. The contrast is stunning. Soft piano plays. I continue. What else in our lives do we leave closed too long? What small spaces collect our neglect until they demand attention? It's reflective, not preachy. Viewers feel seen. They comment their own metaphors, relationships, routines, self-care. That emotional connection drives algorithmic watch time better than any gimmick. Setting up the outro. The camera pans back to the washer, now spotless. I walk toward it, hand on the door, and say with a smile, "We opened the door, faced the mess, and learned from it. So next time when you finish a load, don't close the door on curiosity." The music rises. Cut to quick montage. Time-lapse of the 60-day timer winding down. Slow spin of clean metal under light. Comments flying across the screen in overlay. My final voiceover line, "Because the only thing worse than dirt is never daring to look." The grand finale. The washer door stands wide open, gleaming. Steam swirls like smoke from a victory fire. Every stain, every trace of that 60-day journey, it's all gone. But the energy in the room? Still charged. You can feel it. I turn back to the camera, hair a little messy, sleeves rolled up. "Okay," I say, breathless but grinning. We actually did it. 60 simulated days of grime, one mission, complete redemption. The music drops, low hum, heartbeat rhythm. I point toward the machine. What you're looking at right now isn't just a clean washer. It's proof. Proof that a little curiosity and a lot of courage can change what we think we know about cleaning. Cut to montage. Fast clips from every major moment. The first opening, the microscope reveal, the pressure test hiss, the foam cleaning cycle, and that final wisp of steam. Each flash syncs with the beat like it's a trailer. Quick captions appear. Day 1, fear day 30, doubt day 60, truth. Then the screen freezes on a shot of the washer glowing under LED lights. I walk closer, whispering just enough to make viewers lean in. I thought this experiment would end with a bad smell, but it ended with perspective. The room is quiet for half a beat. Then, boom! The music shifts upbeat, cinematic, drums kicking in. Now comes the high-energy outro wave. Redemption energy mode. I laugh out loud, clapping once. All right, team, confession time. When I first started this challenge, I thought I'd just fake some mold shots and be done. But after 60 days of research, testing, and controlled simulation, I learned something wild. The biggest messes we make are the ones we never check. Cut to close-up. I open the detergent drawer. Spotless. Pan across the rubber gasket. Spotless. Then to the filter, sparkling under bright light. The transformation looks unreal. Viewers feel that satisfaction deep in their chest. That cleaning ASMR meets redemption arc emotion that keeps them replaying the clip. I point at the camera again, big grin. Now, I need every single one of you watching from the US, Canada, India, or wherever you are. Go open your washer door right now. Just go look at it. If it's spotless, drop a emoji in the comments. If it's not, drop a... I want to see how real this community is. Engagement call? Perfectly disguised as a challenge. The beat drops lower again as I speak softer. Because this channel isn't just about machines. It's about curiosity. It's about not being afraid to open what everyone else keeps closed. Camera slowly zooms in, lights dim to soft blue. When I started making these videos, I just wanted to show people how to clean a washer. Now, I realize every time we take care of something, we're really taking care of ourselves. Final epic reveal. Just when it feels like the outro's ending, the music builds again. I grab a small UV flashlight and sweep it over the drum. The screen fills with glowing sparkles, the inside of the washer shining under black light, every surface reflecting like stars. You see that? I say, smiling. That's the cleanest the machine has ever been, and you saw every step. No edits, no shortcuts, just the truth, captured, tested, and transformed. The beat hits full force. Camera cuts between me, the washer, and the glowing reflections like a movie trailer. Text overlay flashes in sync with the rhythm. Experiment complete. Door open. Curiosity unlocked. I spin toward the camera one last time, pointing playfully like a movie hero. Now, if this video doesn't make you check your washer door today, I don't know what will. Pause. Wink. But we're not done. Oh no, next time I'm going deeper. Music cuts out. Silence. Because what's hiding in your dryer vent might just blow your mind. Boom. Outro logo explodes on screen. Upbeat outro track starts. On-screen animation. Subscribe before your laundry revolts. New experiments every week because dirt never sleeps.